Things I realized after being in an abusive relationship. First off, there's more than just physical abuse. And yeah, people kind of have an idea about mental and emotional abuse, but one thing I didn't realize was environmental abuse. So that's like threatening to smash your stuff or hurt your animals or throw a bowl near your head or a hot frying pan at you, um, throw batteries at you when you try to leave the situation from the balcony while you're at your car. Just like so many things that I didn't realize was a type of abuse. But obviously, looking back at it now, hey, what are you eating? Don't eat that. Don't eat that. Looking back at it now, obviously, that's pretty shitty activity and behavior from somebody that says that they love you. So, obviously, yeah, just don't forget that if you think that you deserve better, you probably do. So don't settle and go for what your heart's desire is. And I also realized that I was obviously by far in the best shape of my life when I was in that relationship. Um, and he would turn to me and grab my skin and call it fat, and it'd be on my belly, and he'd call that fat, and it made me real self-conscious because like I still mentally was seeing myself as how fat I am now, how chunky I am now, and that's how big I was before I even met him, and didn't realize that that hadn't healed in my mind. I mean, it did, but after time and time again of that kind of abuse, of being put down and called fat and chunky and big, after you'd worked for years getting to the most amazing body that I'd ever had. Like, I was so hot when I first met him, and then I got even hotter when I started rock climbing and just more toned. And looking back at my pictures now, especially after gaining 40 pounds after leaving that relationship because I needed to self-indulge in chocolate and pizza and just like fill that void that was created by that relationship. And yeah, it was just really difficult now because I'm looking back on pictures from that relationship when he called me fat and told me I was fat and put me down and said I was the reason for his depression. And hi puppies, hi puppy, you're my good man, yeah, you're my good man. And the fact that he blamed his emotions on me, not realizing that I should have never even given him the time of day. And I'm grateful that I did because it was a lesson that I needed to learn with self-love, and it's helped me post crazy videos and have fun online and not give a fuck about what anybody else thinks or says about me, because I know I'm a great person. And yes, things got dark and I let the darkness kind of take over for a while, and I recognize that I'm getting out of that darkness. And it was really difficult to realize that I fell in love with a character that he was playing. He put on a good front and made me fall in love with him, and then moved me across the country away from everybody that I knew and loved. And yeah, I was all on board because I was originally going to move across the country too, but I was going to do it on my own, and I was going to go to a big city and try a bunch of things. Not Ottawa, and not try things. The last couple months since I left him, I've tried more things than I did in this 5 years that we were here, and that 7-year cycle that we were together was a whole learning process about mostly self-love, and I recognize that now, and I'm super grateful for it. And I'm getting back on my health journey and caring about what I put in my mouth and my stomach and my body and on my body and everything like that, and I'm just being more aware and living with more awareness. Yeah, it was really hard for me to lose all that weight before I even met him, and then he would slowly put me down with those comments that just like dig into your heart and your soul, especially after being big my whole life and then losing all that weight and getting to my most happy body, and then getting even better and better and better, and then having him still like nothing was ever good enough. And now I realize shouldn't have had to be good enough for him, and I didn't think it was at the beginning. I didn't worry about that, but time and time again he slowly broke me down and broke my soul, and now I'm putting back all those pieces, and I'm relying on my own love and my own self, and I'm doing crazy things that I've always wanted to do, and I'm so excited and happy for the person that I am. And I know how difficult it is for some of you people in relationships like this to want to leave and not be able to leave. And yeah, just remember, if somebody says anything that's hurtful to you, just block them. And I read this quote the other day. It's like, well, what did you do after you unblocked them? Like, were they mad? And it's like, no, I blocked them for a reason. I never unblocked them again. And that hit my soul for sure. It was a big healing moment, and I was like, huh, all right. People do block people forever, and it's well deserved. Absolutely fucking well deserved. So, thought I was fat then? Look at me now. And I'm fat and loving it. And yeah, I'll be skinny and fit again. And it'll take some time because I definitely overindulged in my healing journey. But I'm excited. I'm back into rock climbing again. I started dancing. I'm super uncoordinated, but it's hilarious and I love it. And I'm having fun again. And I'm smiling so much more. And people have been mentioning that as well, how I seem so happy and I'm glowing. And I'm not putting on that fake facade to make sure that his family doesn't see me, even if it's 10 minutes after he had grabbed my jacket and threw me around. And yeah, if you're worried that he won't get physical with you because it's just words, or he says he'll change, he'll never change. It will get worse. It will turn physical, and you better get out before it's too late and you can't get out. I never thought I would ever let a person treat me like that after seeing what my mom had gone through and what my dad had gone through, but I was smack dab right in the middle of it on my own and didn't believe that I deserved anything better because he made me believe that. He ingrained that into my brain, and I had to fall out of love with him in order to move on. And after falling out of love with him, I realized I wasn't in love with him at all. I was in love with the character he was playing at the beginning of our relationship, in hopes that that guy would come back, opening the doors for me, calling me his queen, princess, beautiful, all these compliments, and just full on love bombing. And then once he knew he had his hooks in my soul and got me across the country to somewhere where COVID happened and the border was closed and people didn't even speak English for the most part, it was really bad. It's never too late to leave and start over. Don't waste your 20s on somebody that doesn't deserve it. Hopefully this will help somebody, because I know that now that I'm on the other side of it, I'm hearing what people were telling me before, saying get out now, back when I was still back in BC in, what was it, 2017, 2018, saying it's going to be a 7-year cycle, get out now, he's never going to change. Everybody said all those things, and I was like, no, he's not like that. Didn't believe it. If people are saying that to you, try to just like take a breath and hear it for real. Like listen, and look at all the situations and how many times he's let you down on big days. It was always big, important days to me where he would flip out and make it about himself. So if these things are happening to you too, then it might be time to reevaluate your life, your partnership. And I was lucky enough to only have dogs, and that was hard enough as is. I kept going back for the one dog, and then we got 2 dogs, and it was even harder. And yeah, it will get worse if you don't get out. And yeah, have faith in yourself, because on the other side of that is everything you've ever wanted. And you're going to be so much happier and so free. You're going to be so free. So stay tuned. I'm going to share more of my story, and hopefully it'll help somebody else heal and get out of that relationship or that partnership, business partnership, work relationship. It's all about healing that original relationship first, and forgiving. Just because you're forgiving somebody doesn't mean that it makes it right. It just means that it's time for you to move on, and you don't want to hold on to that. Because now, looking back, I realized that my mom's ex-boyfriend, it was that relationship that I never forgave him for what he did to me, to my mom, around my sister. And who knows what he's doing to my sister now. I hope he's gotten some help as well. But all you can do is forgive, move on, let it go, or else you're just going to keep attracting people with the same energy. Because once he was gone, I got this boyfriend, and then after I started falling out of love with my boyfriend, I got this manager, same fucking energy, kind of narcissistic, puts you down, gaslights, just full on abuse. Like, my stepdad hit me, but it was like one big arching moment. And obviously there was the mental abuse there too. And same on my dad's side. His ex-wife, who nobody wanted him to marry because she was a total gold digger, and is still a gold digger, still getting money from him somehow, I don't even understand, and has written books about their relationship, and there's so many lies in it, it's hilarious. I don't even understand how I guess she was self-published, but either way, it is remarkable. If you don't heal those childhood wounds, you're going to keep attracting until you finally do heal it. And you break that cycle. You're the one that's meant to break the cycle. For you, for your family. If not, it's going to keep going. And one day, it could be so scary. Like my mom had to go to the cops. There was a knife on her throat, and my dad had pool balls thrown at him, attacked with a hammer. I had a hot frying pan, an unchippable bowl shattered near my head, shoved down a mountainside. It will escalate if you don't get out. Yeah. It's all about healing that original childhood wound, because if you don't, you're going to keep attracting people that are going to teach you that fucking lesson until you learn it. You're going to quit your job, and you're going to get rid of that manager, and then you're going to get a boyfriend like that, or you're going to leave the family and not be around that stepdad, and then you're going to get a boyfriend like that, or a manager like that. It's going to keep coming back until you heal it. So I recommend meditation. I recommend just breathing, being more aware in your body. Because if you're not, you're just going to stay in the cycle. And it is going to be even harder to get out later on in life, especially if you get pets or kids. And there was a point in my life where I was like worried I had to go back for my laptop. I had to go back for these expensive things that I had, risking my life, not realizing that those are just things. My friend told me in the middle of it, it's like, don't go back, those are just things. Like, you can just get new things. And I was like, no, I need those things. $2,000 that I just spent on that laptop. Like, expensive. And I thought that was a lot of money back then. And here I am with more abundance of money and freedom and time and my baby dogs, my pups. I love them so much, and the freedom that we have. And it is crazy looking back, realizing that, yeah, they are just things. And I went back and it could have been way worse. My grandparents even told me, they're like, don't, like, what if he's not just punching the wall beside you anymore? Like, what if he freaks out and he has a knife in his hand? Like, I remember them saying that before I moved across the country. So things were always bad. He shoved me through a wall before we came across the country, but I believed that he did finish his anger management course. He did the training, and maybe he did. Maybe he's good with fucking PowerPoint and Word or whatever, but either way, if he doesn't stay with those trainings and stuff, he's just gonna sink back to that person again and again and again. He'll show you a little bit of love, show the good times again, and then it'll crash even harder. It'll get so much worse, so fast. So, yeah, figure out those inner wounds, inner childhood wounds, and start healing within, so that you can just never, ever, ever have to be around anybody similar to that. No energy, no job, no boss, no friend. You stand your own ground. You know your worth. And you don't deserve that. I didn't deserve that, and I didn't see it for 7 years. 7-year cycle. One drunk girl told me at the bar, and I was crying because my boyfriend was being a dick, and something had happened again. And looking back at some of our photos, like some of the cutest photos, we had a beautiful photo shoot in the water, and like that was the worst day ever. Like we were fighting, but could put on a good act. Put on a great act. I was guilty too of doing it. I asked him to. I asked him to be good, on good behavior in front of people, and I should have just left. Should have just left that first argument, that first time, because, yeah. But, like I said, I'm grateful for it. I'm thankful. I've learned my self-worth. I've developed self-love, and I understand what abundance and freedom feels like again. And I did have that in my life before him. And I read this quote one day, and it was like, the right man will come into your life when things are chaotic and bring peace. The wrong man will come into your life when it's peaceful and bring the chaos. So if you're in a good spot and you have somebody coming into your life and there's moments of chaos, just remember, it will grow and grow and grow. So, hope you guys have a super fantastic, wonderful day. Thanks for listening. Stay strong.